Hey, the 2KMC here with all the details about the upcoming events in the city. On Fridays, head to Club 2K sponsored by Beats, where you can party and play while listening to the latest tracks. This weekend, check out Mobile One Grand Prix. Start your engines and finish the race for a chance to earn exclusive MyPLAYER items, VC, and more. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, play games with VC on the line at Ante Up. On Wednesdays, earn double rep by wearing a featured Wacky Wednesday item. Next weekend, make your way to the Rec, because you can earn double rep all weekend long. To recap, here's our big board of upcoming events in the city. 2KMC out.
Welcome to NBA 2K TV. Let's jump right in.
First up, Allie LaForce is your conduit to all the players at all the big NBA games. And she's bringing her courtside experience to all of your games in NBA 2K21.
We put her on the other side of the mic after a recent recording session, and we asked her what it was like to bring her correspondent role into NBA 2K. Take a look.
Nuggets coach Mike Malone about star Nikola Jokic. He said, quote, he makes everyone around him better.
Allie LaForce, welcome to 2K TV. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good considering these crazy circumstances we're living in. It's great to see you. It's great to be here and be a part of the 2K team.
How was your session today?
It was so much fun. You feel ridiculous saying that it's tiring and that it's work because you sit in one chair and you don't really move, but just mixing up the inflection in your voice and trying to make things sound interesting and bringing an energy level over the course of multiple hours of recording. It's its own unique challenge. Giannis, first off, congratulations on the win, but there was some sloppy play early. How'd you get it back on track? But it was a blast. I mean, everybody at 2K does a good job of bringing the energy for you too, so that helps.
You're in the game as a sideline reporter. How is that recording, and now that you're going to be in the game a lot more than even in just the My Career story?
I'm super excited because 2K is awesome because everybody loves it. Kids love it, adults love it, women love it, men love it. NBA players actually like playing it. So it's just such a likable game. And it's so real now, which makes it even more fun. The NBA 2K team, they're enthusiastic, they're fun-loving, they're extremely energetic, they are super progressive. And so to join a team like that is just exciting in itself, let alone, the other part of actually being on the game, but just joining an awesome family.
I don't know if you know this, but Gordon Hayward is a gaming OG. He said, quote, as an NBA player, video games have been instrumental.
You played a lot of sports growing up. What did sports teach you?
Everything. It's crazy. I don't even realize some of the lessons until things happen in your life. You face adversity or, you're put in situations that you never expected to be in, and you realize, like, wow, this was a skill set that I developed from playing sports. I think growing up, it made us focus on the right things, on teamwork, on being active, on sharing, on learning, on what it meant to have a work ethic and get better and constantly have to grow. And that was fun. It was also fun to be around other people and learn, how you fit your piece into a giant piece of what is a team.
When you're coming off the court, you only have a couple of minutes with the players. How do you prepare for those interviews, and how do you get such great answers on the fly with the little time that you do have?
Well, something I was taught from the very beginning was, it's not about you, it's about the person you're interviewing. That's why people are watching. So how can you get your point across in the most concise manner that also allows them to be in the best position to give you an intelligent or meaningful or emotional response? And then I think, too, not being sold on what you're going to say or ask. I mean, if something changes in the game right before the interview happens, just you go there. You do what's most newsworthy and what will get the most response out of the player or the coach.
You started a charity, Project Frontline. Tell us about that and how's it going?
Thank you. We were sitting around just like everyone, stuck in your homes and wondering how you can help. And we have lots of friends that own small businesses, and they were really, really struggling. And then, of course, the nurses and the doctors are true heroes. And so Project Frontline was a way to use a local restaurant who wanted to do good and also needed help financially, and use them to prepare meals and deliver the meals to hospitals, to our healthcare heroes. And everybody jumped on board. They were so excited. We had tons of athletes and random people too that were donating, that wanted to help. We hope it was just a small glimmer of hope in a really weird time.
Thanks so much for joining us on 2K TV. It's lovely having you.
Oh my gosh, thanks. It was great to see your face. I can't wait to see it in person soon.
I know, hopefully
Fingers
soon.
crossed.
Jaylen Brown is considered a social justice leader in the NBA. He has been instrumental on getting the messaging out on racial injustice and how to address the issue.
Now he's partnered with us to produce a 3-part series to continue raising awareness. Here's part 1 of Respect Your OGs with Jaylen Brown.
The social justice issue that I'm most interested in and most active in is education reform. When I first noticed the gaps within the educational system, I started in Georgia, especially when I transferred districts. The district that I was in, I excelled in. And when I switched, I was behind. And just based off the districts, based off being in a minority-led district versus one that was less, the requirements were a little bit different. And that hit me hard. When I was in school, I took both regular classes and advanced classes, and you could see the difference in curriculums. When I was in advanced classes, you more so got to go on field trips and even at a separate library. So definitely more resources, I feel like, an opportunity were allocated to kids that were on the advanced track. The book that kind of opened my eyes that I read when I was at Cal Berkeley was written by Jeannie Oakes, How Schools Structure Inequality, and really is by design. It creates social hierarchy in a sense. Most of the time, that separation is determined by location, race, and how much money they often make. I remember tears hitting the page because this whole time, this had been going on and I was unaware of it. Educational inequality is the most obvious and potent form of bias and racism in our country. Until our education system sees us all as winners and worth putting effort into, I will continue to use my platform and voice to help change it. Using this platform is a privilege, and I thank the OGs before me who led the way and standing up for social change. OGs like Bill Russell.
And in next week's episode, Jaylen will be bringing us the story behind how Bill Russell has used his platform to stand up to injustice. Be sure to check back for that.
We asked you guys what you wanted to see more of on 2K TV, and the majority of you said My Career content. So we're tipping off a series on MyPLAYER builds.
Yes, over the next couple weeks, we are going to bring you some insider knowledge to take your builds to the next level. And what better way than to bring on Mike Wang, gameplay director for NBA 2K. Mike, it's great to see you, man. How you doing?
Hey, it's great to see you guys again. Thanks for having me back.
It's been so long, it's been so many months. We're so glad to have you back here because we want some tips. We're gonna split this up, offense and defense. Chris's MyPLAYER will focus, surprise, surprise, on defense, and mine will focus on offense. I'm trying to decide what to make, and I'm thinking either a shooting guard or a small forward.
That's a great pick. Probably the first decision every gamer in 2K should make is like, what kind of player do you want to be? I don't advise everyone just going straight to YouTube and looking at the best build videos and just copying what YouTubers are doing because everyone plays different and you might have a different strength than these guys do. So yeah, what do you want to be and then go from there.
So I want to be an offensive juggernaut, but how do I build a MyPLAYER that is offensively great, but is not lacking that much on defense?
Yeah, I think you probably want to go with a two-way possibly, or you could go a scoring machine, but I think the biggest thing you're going to want to do is figure out at least like what your team's going to look like. maybe if you're playing Pro-Am, can you rely on your back line for defense? If so, then you don't have to worry about that as much. You don't have to put anything towards interior defense. You can kind of stack all of your points toward things like perimeter defense.
Yeah, and you'll see a lot of two-way players out there because they want to have a balance of offense and defense. If you go too heavy in offense, you're going to get burned on defense. If you go too heavy on defense, you might have a little problem scoring. So two-ways are definitely a popular build that I see a lot out there on the Pro-Am streets.
Yeah, so for current gen, just try to get a more balanced pie chart. For next gen, it's to be more about just reserving some of your attributes for the defensive end. And bear in mind too, like if you can get to the 95, 96, 97, 98 end game, then you're going to get some attribute bonuses there as well. So you can account for that too when you're making your build. So you don't have to, get everything up front if you're willing to wait and you're willing to maintain your rating.
Which takeovers are best for this build?
Well, if you're on Gen 4, I definitely recommend a slasher takeover. And then if you're on Gen 5, you're probably going to want to go with finishing moves, which is a great takeover for dunking on people, catching bodies at the rim.
Yeah, I definitely like to dunk, so I think I'm going to go with that one. I can't dunk in real life, though. But I have a great vertical. It's just like, I wish that I could pick what I was in real life by like what I was in 2K.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I need. Probably about another 50, 60 inches of my vertical. I need some stamina. My stamina's dropped since I got older.
Now, badges are so important to every single build, but I've noticed that sometimes they might contradict builds, which is kind of funny when we go off against people in the rec. I'll see, shooters having driving badges, which is interesting to me. What do you think is really important to builds? Is it enhancing what you do, or is it trying to build like an all-around kind of player?
So with Alexis's character, who's going to be an offensive juggernaut, she sounds like she likes to dunk, so I would probably go posterizer with that one. And for next gen, there is a rating requirement you're going to have to get to for a Hall of Fame posterizer. Personally, I would say if she wants to be a scorer, put all her points into scoring, get a scoring take, and not try to just be a little bit of everything, because at the end of the day, you'll probably be just kind of average at everything if you do go with that approach.
So Mike, we wanted to do something kind of cool, and we had fans send in their archetypes to us for you to judge. So Mr. 2K himself sent in this archetype. It's a facilitating finisher.
I love this build, Chris, just because it's unique. There aren't enough Chris Balls out there, guys who will just make the team better. It's going to obviously have some weaknesses in scoring, especially from the perimeter. But it looks like it's going to be deadly, slashing to the basket, and it's going to get a lot of assists. One thing that I would say with this build, and it's not really a weakness, but one thing I would say is maybe I would put a little more into ball handling so that you could get to that pro level animations of the ball handling stuff. So that's one area where I think you're going to cap out on this build at like an 84. So you might be just shy of that threshold, and you'll be a little bit slower. Your first steps and your launches will be a little bit slower, and you won't be able to have just quick combinations with the ball. So maybe change that, but otherwise this is a pretty cool looking build.
Before we go, do we have any more tips out there for the offensive builds that you would give? Green
Machine is a great badge. So if you can time your shots, get that one. Hot Zone Hunter is another important one. And just remember again that if you do Gatorade workouts, you can get your physicals up. And if you get to that 96, 97, 98, you can get some points as well. So there's ways to go beyond what you create off rip. There's a lot of ways you can go. So just be unique and do what you want to do.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mike. We love having you on, and we will see you back next week for the defensive side. I know Chris is looking forward to that, and he's really excited.
Great. Thanks for having me.
This is the 2KMC, and we're one vote away from picking your top play of spring. This week, you'll decide the winner of 500,000 VC of the last 8 weeks. Here are your spring finalists. For your first finalist, we have Alex Power 5, soaring over the GOAT in My Team with Baron Davis, reminding us that anything can happen in My Team. And your second finalist is King LaShawn 13, who was spinning through 4 blockers for a flashy dunk. How the squeak did they get through 4 defenders? $500,000 VC is on the line. Spring it on us. Who are you picking? And if you want to see your plays on the show, submit them to social media using the hashtag 2KTVWow. We'll announce your spring winner on social media. This is the 2KMC, and I'll see you next week. Ice cream truck's coming. Wait up, my quarters.
Do you have a MyPLAYER build that you're proud of? Share that build with us on social media using the hashtag 2KTVBuild, and you might be featured on a future episode.
And next week, we're talking defense. Mike Wang returns to talk more MyPLAYER builds, and this time it's all about getting stops, so you won't want to miss it.
Until then, enjoy the game.
Yo, I'm the 2KMC, here to tell you about the upcoming events in the neighborhood. This weekend, check out Rush 1v1. Win 4 games in a row for a chance to earn exclusive Rush apparel, VC, and more. On Wednesday, meet your competition in the cages, because all day long, you can jump high and earn double rep. Next weekend, head to the rec for double rep all weekend long. Yeah, you heard me. And for more Wednesday fun, I want to see all you rim rockers at Dunk Fest, where you'll be working with the community to reach the target number of dunks. To recap, here's our big board of upcoming events in the neighborhood. 2KMC out.